We had a heck of a night today, didn't we? A lot going on and a lot seeing, uh, lot to say. And it was a 2 hour video. And it was just plain long, and unfortunately enough, it got crazy. And some people uh, asked some very tough questions. It was supposed to be age restricted, and for some reason it was unage restricted. So I had to change it to age restricted. Now this one is not age restricted, but rather this one here is. I'm gonna try to make it up for those of you who kind of felt lost. The first thing is, as far as the Sherry Heaton business goes, Sherry unfortunately has a notorious habit of actually making fun of Lumi and me, and I'm meaning to. So some of us just kind of really don't do too well. Now what I'm gonna do is I can zoom this lens in a little bit better, but it's give me a second so I can zoom in more on me and less on the background. So give me a second to set this up here. Is that right? No, that's further out. Oh, is it? Oh. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Why is the lens like that? Wait, like what? Where the brightness and contrast are all pear shaped. I don't know. Must be something in the video source. Okay, hold on a minute. You're loosening it. No. Alright, well, this is about as good as it's gonna get. Let me try to focus this camera more. Yeah, it's better. Okay. We're having some slight minor mites with a cheap Chinesium LCD viewfinder on that camera. It was supposed to be age restricted, and for some reason it was and what happened was it got kind of crazy. So there we are. That's us. So I'm just checking to see if it plays okay. And you know, it's glad you brought that up, CP. Yeah, we're going to discuss that right now. I just wanted to see if the video is playing right, and because it got really crazy this night, and I wanted to just try to simplify it. That's why I came out again to do a late night thing. Did Dory steal my phone? Well, here's the question. I called my cell phone number. It didn't say that the phone was not in service, which means it was a joint deal and she was supposed to have pay for the minutes simultaneously. That means that she did come by and grab the phone and either A, gave it to somebody else to use for their own purposes, or she's using it for herself. Because one of the things that she said, as everybody else kept saying in my video or my videos, that she should. Yeah, hi Sherry. Just give me a second here, okay? I'm trying to explain what's going on. Everybody kept telling her that she should take that. You know, I should give her the good phone, and she was supposed to give me the broken phone. But then she explained originally that she had given the good phone to me as a gift because I treated the phone good. It was never broken. So she kind of said to me a couple times that she was really disgusted that her phone got broken. And maybe she took some of the YouTubers' advice, and since the phone really wasn't used for much, because I didn't use it for a phone, I just used it to read the chat comments like I'm doing right now. As for am I okay? I'm fine. CP was asking the same question. How can you miss me? You just left here. God. Okay, so anyway, I would try. Michelle, we finish. I tried to reach Dory. I couldn't reach her at her phone. I called her daughter's number, and her daughter got all hot and unbothered with me, and she said, I did try. I leave my message to my mother to call you, but she hasn't called you. Like, that's obvious. Right. So, so I said, well, I said that when I left the messages, clearly she was seeing the messages on her SMS. So in other words, the message was going out to SMS. So I left the message because she gave me a thumbs up sign, which implies that she did take the phone. Because I said, you take the phone for yourself, and she gave me a thumbs up sign. So I guess that means yes. The only thing is I wish she had told me, because I told her, I said, I wish she had said so, because so I could clear out my personal information out of the phone, because I had all my username, passwords, and everything else in there. So she never said that she cleared out my phone. But then again, I don't know if Dory's actually the one who has the phone, or if she gave it to somebody else for money. Is it possible? The way Dory works sometimes, Lumi, it's very possible, and that's just it. You know, so... let's see. Let's go through some of these real quick here. Jesse has a crush on you. Well, that's nice. Barb, just Barb, all you need says, it's unacceptable to just take someone's phone. A girl's gift from, a girl's gift done. To me, it seems like Dory is avoiding you. Yeah, that's why I think seem to be saying... he wants your goods. You know, I don't disagree with Sherry on that, but no, Indian giver, not a thief. But Michelle can't kick Dory out because Dory needs a place to live, and Michelle needs her help too to pay the rent. Because otherwise Michelle has to go back to pay the landlord $700 a month. And Michelle will still be $150 short. Because she's got to pay the collection agent through the court order $50 a month for 3 years. So Michelle can't just walk away from Dory. Unless she can find a mutual roommate to replace her. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen unless the roommate is used to sleeping on the couch. Ed would sleep on the couch. It's no better than Dory. He has his own issues. You can't expect Ed to do it. Ed would be a terrible candidate. Besides, the landlord can't stand him anyway. Yeah, I know that. Says, the security of your personal data is on that device has to be considered. Yeah, I do know that there's some ways it can remotely erase it through Google, but I'm not sure how. Good point. Michelle needs to get her data off that device. Especially if she gave it to a total stranger for money. Very good point. I gotta get that data off. The bugs in my house right now, Sherry, is not even the issue. Unless you mean to kind of have 2 legs named Dory. She bugs me. CP saying is, I'm not saying kick her out, but Dory needs to respect you and pay her own way. And she does pay her way. But she didn't respect Michelle because she originally gave Michelle the phone as a gift. But Michelle really needed the money, the regular rent, more than anything. But then Dory lost out in her own court case because of a breach of peace, because of an argument her and a friend had at a campground. And then the judge told her she had to pay the fine of $50 for breach of peace. So maybe then again, that's what Dory decided that, well, Michelle, the bill is $75. Michelle doesn't use the cell phone. She only uses it on her Wi-Fi. Michelle originally wanted to get a tablet. So why doesn't she just give me a tablet instead? Because she didn't know she could get one from the cell phone people. It was a buy one, get one free. Then why didn't she just put her SIM chip into my phone and then she would have been all set? That's a great question. Why didn't she? Well, maybe what she did was she did put her SIM chip into your phone, but unfortunately, the phone number that was yours, which you weren't using, was reallocated by Metro PCS to somebody else for another phone. Okay, that would make some sense. So the phone number that's her phone, that doesn't have any phone service on it, is because she herself couldn't afford to pay the $75 that she owed. Right. Let's see what else is this? Okay. And I said, I'm not, okay. And then she says, okay. Sherry Love, I will stop over this week again. TTYL, I'm on the way to casino. How can you go to, oh, that's where you get paid today. Was the phone locked? Meaning, did you have to have a password to get into it? No. I don't even have my iPhone locked. But Michelle could lock both phones. But unfortunately, Michelle doesn't even know the IMEI of the number of the phone or the ICCID of the SIM card. Right. So, I think that the reason why Dory's avoiding Michelle is because Dory does know and does have it. And what are you going to do? I wanted to see if she finally responded to you on Facebook. Or maybe she finally got back to you and said more than just give you a thumbs up. Well, let me read your comments to her anyway. Alright, do that. Okay. So Michelle asked Dory in a private messages, several of them, but let's see, I want to just go for the last two because it's most interesting. Dory actually didn't speak, okay, but Dory did do is gave symbols. She says, okay, Michelle asked at 3 hours ago, she says, why did you take my phone without asking me? I was looking for it and could not find it. Dory Wysocki gives a thumbs up symbol 3 hours ago, sent from Facebook Messenger. Michelle says, why didn't you tell me so I could erase my personal stuff? What phone number are you using now? Mine? Question mark. and apparently not, because Dory didn't want to give up her cell phone number, and she could easily put the SIM chip into the phone. And yet, when Michelle called the phone number that Dory got assigned to her, it rang through fine, and it didn't say that the phone could not make was out of service. So somebody is using Michelle's phone number. But if Dory turned in that phone SIM chip and put the SIM chip into her existing or into Michelle's phone, then of course Dory's phone, which has her personal number, which is now Michelle's phone, is, yeah, you know, Michelle, I think you really seriously, you do got to get onto Google and actually close out the access to those two phones. That's just that phone. How many other Android phones do you have to close out? Just that one, I think. Oh, okay. I don't think I have any others out there, but I'm not really sure. I gotta go into Google security and check. So the thing is that I find this so disconcerting is that, you know, is that it's just not, something just doesn't smell right, if you know what I'm saying. No, I know nothing smells right, because I thought Dory had better scruples than that. I thought so too. Well, apparently she doesn't. So let me go back to the rest of the questions here. Was the phone locking it? No. In fact, Michelle, like she said, is going to have to go get on the Google security and erase all the information in the LG Aristo and lock that phone, so that the person will have to re-enter the new password to get to it. Michele doesn't even lock her iPhone. I don't. My in the case of the BlackBerry, it has a lock on it because it was corporate policy from the prior company that had it. So you have to use password lock on it. So I have a 4-character password, which is pretty simple. It's a word. It's a word. It could be a sentence. I mean, but I just wanted something simple that I could easily type in a hurry to get into my phone. So that's why I used that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She put her SIM in my phone, but she couldn't afford to go ahead and activate the service right now. And then she brought my SIM card, she probably did at the Metro PCS store. So she probably told the Metro PCS store that the other person, that was me, that was using that phone, which was, because both phones were under her bill, doesn't want the phone. And then they took the SIM card that was originally assigned a generic Metro PCS number that was never ported out, and reassigned that to another customer. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah, and would make sense in the long run. You could change your password on your Google account, but that should lock out the account from the phone. Yeah, but Michelle's already changed her password so many times that Michelle's running out of password ideas. No, seriously, Michele has changed her password because she keeps forgetting them. Because the passwords keep getting changed because, for example, someone broke into Michelle's Apple Store account. She had to change her password on the Apple Store for the iPhone. Then, and that's a serious issue because once you can get into that, you can turn on certain security locks, which Michele would have to use a PIN to unlock her iPhone if she enabled that. But she doesn't have that enabled. So that means that she would never be able to get back into her iPhone again. That would be disaster, big time. No way Michele can live without that iPhone. Just say now it's the only phone she's got that she can read these chats from the couch. So yeah, that's not something I would want to see poor Michele get stuck with. Being able not to read the couch. SC question. Oh, that was your typos. No. There's someone named SC. Question. Alright, so, obviously we're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something. Because of security reasons, that somebody can go ahead, if it was a dishonest person, that was not Dory, that person could go create a holy hell in the sense they can go into Michelle's YouTube channel. They can mess the settings up. They can change all her passwords on all her private accounts. They can get all her bookmarks, all her day planners, all of her calendars, all of her pictures, everything. And just totally make a royal, holy mess of everything. I'll take care of it when I get done with this video. Okay. In the next thing is, for the younger people, I wanted to talk to my younger audience first. The ones that are not technically adults. The last video was supposed to be age restricted because the fact is I want to try to keep this channel family friendly. Unfortunately, Sherry is not so gung-ho about maintaining a family friendly atmosphere. I don't want to get any complaints from parents anywhere. I do my best to try to keep a good, clean channel. And so for those of you parents, if you may have saw it when the video on the channel was, or the video was not listed as age restricted, I am really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I did tell YouTube to set it as age restricted, and they did not set the age restriction flag. So if you do have a personal problem with it and your parents of a minor, please tell me, email me, and I will. Just wanted to personally apologize to you. Number one, I don't even like doing videos like that at all. I really rather keep doing my video clean. because I really believe that we need to finally find good, wholesome channels that people can sit down and watch with their family and friends. It doesn't necessarily scare the living bejesus out of the kids and the parents who feel that the kids are being morally corrupted by some total bad person on the other side of the camera. So for those of you, for parents who may have been offended, even though you haven't yet mentioned anything, I just want to let you know that I'm going to try my best to keep this channel clean. But unfortunately, because Sherry does not have those kind of scruples, I have to mark those videos when she does them as age restricted. I don't know how I'm going to keep the channel from unmarking them from age restricted. I don't want to mark all my videos age restricted because that's ridiculous. This channel, this video here is definitely not. It's the same thing. CP, I said I do like the same word and a number, like cat, then cat 2, then cat 3, because I can always remember cat 1. I could just becomes. Yeah, that's a very common problem with passwords. Michelle tries to be more creative. I try. It doesn't mean she's successful. Well, when you gotta remember passwords for Facebook, eBay, YouTube, MySpace, Tumblr, Google products, which includes YouTube and Google Mail and AdSense and Hangouts and everybody's got all these different passwords. It's so hard to come up with a new password every single time that's truly unique. Now, a lot of these sites are becoming more and more rigid in the password requirements. So that makes it harder. So how do you make your channel passwords unique? I don't know. That's a great question, though. I don't know. Is Lumi okay? I'm kind of fine, but I'm just like Michelle said, we both feel kind of blindsided right now because of all the stuff going on. Michelle's, very important to me, and I'm trying so hard to deal with the fact is that, number one, is so many people think I'm just a joke, or I'm a humor, or I'm just a kind of a flight of fancy or something, and it's really hard because people keep talking about multiple personality disorder who do not even know what multiple personality disorder in this case is. Some people think I don't even exist. I have existed for Michelle. I was her spirit guide, all guardian angel, all the way back when Michelle was a baby. And then it was part of our life chart that Michelle would ask me to join. I would be joining with her. And that was written in her life chart way from the very beginning. The requirement was Michelle had to acknowledge that the empty space in her body, the empty space in her heart was for me. That was the requirement set by Mother Asna. Michelle on her own came up with that conclusion. It had nothing to do with me. And so that's when finally, in this final time on Earth, that we were able to finally join together in true spiritual holy matrimony. But the thing is so many people like Sherry talk about horrible things, about things that don't even fit into this channel's genre. It doesn't even. For example, I'm so offended by that stuff. As Sherry says, I don't even know if I feel like I can even say the words without potentially feeling like, like it's spiritually discommoding. I just don't want to talk about when Sherry talks about when she talks about those horrible things, and she interrupts me, and then she interrupts Michelle, and then she says this about Michelle and that about Michelle. And she tries to ask a question to Michelle. Michelle tries to answer, and then she changes the question. Michelle never gets a chance to answer. Then sometimes when Michelle's answering, she switches to ask me the question instead of letting Michelle finish the question. So Michelle could finish the question, and then I could answer the question. And that is so mind-blowingly sad that we have to go through this every day. Yeah. So, I mean, and then of course, what is it Sherry says? Oh, yeah, it's actually, was it Sherry that said it? I think it was one of my users too, but Sherry did kind of say the same thing. She said to Lumi, you and Michele cannot afford to keep this place by yourself, and that you should move and find a cheaper apartment. And then what did she say? She says to Michele, why don't you move into the cat house down the street with all the pimps and the whores and the drug dealers and the drug users? Why would I want Michele, what I want to keep safe, to go into a place of such danger? That's not the answer. I don't care if it's a per room rate of $500. Michele deserves better than that. Besides, where the hell would she do her videos in there? If people steal her shit in here, you think that her camera and her lights and her computers are going to be safe over there? I don't think so. And I don't even think that people really understand how important this stuff is to Michele. What she's doing is because she loves doing it. She has a passion for it. It's important to Michele. It's always going to be for Michele. It's the most magical time in her life to finally go out there and say, I'm trying to bring a light and a fog into a world there's no light but dismal black darkness. And this is what Michele does this. And she loves sharing good news and trying to make people happy. Doesn't mean she's successful, but she tries. Thanks. You're welcome. Then I'm going to go back to the question. She says, you shouldn't have to discuss anything that makes you uncomfortable. Well, I agree with that. Because, now it's my turn. Look, the problem with Sherry is, I don't know if it's something in the way she's upbringing or something, but when it comes to the kind of topics, Howard Stern would probably love having her on camera as a guest, and she would probably eat him up. But for me, having to sit there and listen to questions when you don't know if you're guest is going to be polite or if they're going to be raunchy. Yeah, how are you supposed to, keep things organized? Some of my audience, some of the youngsters say they like Sherry. You're going to check those calzones before they burn to a crisp? Yes, I do. I got to go check the food real quick. Okay, come right back. My dinner. Fortunately enough, it didn't burn because I left it at a very low temperature. But it's two cheap Uno pre-made calzones, pepperoni and cheese. So right now the plate's hot, so I can let that cool a bit. But like I said, when I do these videos, I try very hard to keep these videos always a good standing. But, and she says, it's important that you and Michele have a safe space emotionally and physically. That's the reason why Michele chose this apartment. That's the reason why Michele's walls are peach. That's the reason why she has this place that she has. She chose it because it provided her with many of the basic amenities that she needs. For example, these calzones here, she can buy these next door so she can eat if she's in a hurry. Tonight, she was going to cook these earlier, but we did the live stream. So, it's still kind of hot. whoa, yeah, well, they're gonna let cool. Okay? Don't eat on camera. It gets people upset. It also gets kind of oily, too. Um, it's so important that you and Michelle have a safe space. And then, of course, when I moved here, there's a nice thing. There's something very spiritually important to me in the backyard. That's the key word. A backyard. A place where I can go out. There's some grass. Not the illicit kind. I'm talking about regular lawn. And there's trees. And there's place for my cats so they can go out there and walk around and be cats and be happy. And it gives me spiritual happiness. And the thing that makes it hard is that when I was just me on Section 8, my rent was only $700 a month, but then I got the Section 8 stipend. It was like $250, approximately what I was paying. And then 2.5 years ago, because my landlord had problems with Section 8, and he couldn't control his temper, and he threatened the inspector. The inspector said, "We're no longer going to work with your landlord anymore at any of his properties. But you can still keep your voucher if you want to relocate, because you are still technically in good standing." I didn't have the money to move, so I had to stay here and pay $700 out of my $1,236 a month, which I admit, compared to a lot of my friends, is actually pretty damn good, because most people only get about $759. So, because they only get $759, this apartment to them is as expensive as going to the Plaza Hotel in Central Park in New York City. That this is not affordable to the average person on Social Security disability, because this place is too expensive. It says, what the? As far as I'm concerned, that message is not acceptable. Remove, bunk. Post that again, Buster, and you're out of here. I don't care what that message was. It just sounded disgusting. Okay? But the point Michelle's trying to point is that because she is legally blind, because she cannot drive a car, she very much is at the mercy of having to do with what she has around her. She's not a heavy she's not heavily into a lot of social friends. She has a very small social circle. She does have some people she hangs out with, but not a lot of them. And the sad truth is when you got people on YouTube, or worse, people like Sherry in person, who try to make me look bad. And I didn't do anything wrong to Sherry. I always respected Sherry. It makes it harder because Michelle doesn't have anybody else to turn to. Who is she supposed to call? Who is she supposed to ask for assistance to help her move, or help her find a security deposit, or help her to do the things that you have to do to get a new apartment? It's not possible. And that's the hardest thing. Even her own case management team from Wynwood Residential Services, which depended on the state of Connecticut money from the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. Michelle doesn't have addictions, but she does have mental health issues because of depression in the summertime. And she's also legally blind, and that's another department. But both departments can't help Michelle. There's no resources. She's supposed to go to the job fair on the 13th. She was going to go, but honestly, I don't know if they're going to really find her a job she can do in this area. There's a lot of people that can make promissory notes to job fairs. If you do find something and it's an in-town job and the job pays well, then obviously Michelle has to be able to get to the job. So that means that she would have to stay here. That's crazy. That leaves you a little to live on for the rest of the month. Absolutely. No kidding. $130 this month if Dory doesn't try to play any games. Michele got stuck living on credit cards. Michele ended up getting stuck with credit card debts that she couldn't pay. She ended up having to default on her JCPenney card because once they took away her Section 8, she had no way to pay it ever. So then she ended up, it was $50 a month, but then they wanted late fees and charges on top of charges. They wanted as much as not 1,000, was that 100 and something, like 150? Something like 150. $150 just to reinstate the card. Michele couldn't afford that. So what did JCPenney's do? They sold it to a debt collector in Nevada. What did the Nevada debt collector do? They contacted Connecticut collection attorney named Howard Lee PC, Chef PC. And what did they do? They took Michele to small claims court. Michele didn't have any money. But she contacted the court. She did the responsible thing. She explained the thing to the judge. The judge said, okay, fine. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you pay what you originally were paying to JCPenney, which is $50 a month flat. No penalties, no late fees. So as long as you pay the $50 a month for 3 years, your card will be in good standing. But now Michele also has found out from total strangers that there's a question if there's going to be a renter's rebate this year. I don't see how they couldn't give us renter's rebate considering the fact that that money technically was already earmarked. Plus saying that the money is now potentially maybe unearmarked because it was being given to all those illegal immigrants. Well, that's stupid. I know. Why should all the illegal immigrants get your renter's rebate? I don't know. It's stupid. They don't understand any of this. Who the heck is Ryan T? Who is this phone number you're giving me? Don't just give me numbers. You can certainly tell me what these numbers are for. Yeah, what number is that? You know, just giving me a number from I never heard of that number isn't going to answer anything. No. But I'm glad that some of the people liked the show this afternoon, but I have to be honest, guys, I don't think Sherry's really the kind of person I really want to have in my program. She's kind of a little bit in small doses, but if you have to deal with her for 2 hours and 15 minutes and you're already stressed out over other things, it's really, really hard. And I'm not kidding. That's why I came back out here again. Your calzone is cold. No, it's hot. Well, eat one. I will. It's still hot. Cheese is burning my fingers. Okay. But I can't deal with Sherry too much because it's like I need to dilute Sherry before I can deal with her because she's like concentrated. So I can only handle a little of her at a time. So, but I really do wish that she didn't always talk with such horrible language because I feel it's hurting my channel and it's hurting my reputation in town. And that's something I really worry about. So, does anybody have any other questions about what I'm talking about? So, okay, let's see. I don't see any questions at the immediate time. No, I don't see any either right now either. So, the question I guess so many people might be asking is what's going to happen with Dory? I can't tell you, I don't know, because I know Dory's with her granddaughter right now in Torrington. I don't know when she's going to be home, probably Monday, because the in-town buses don't run on the weekend. She got her small SSI check already. She only gets $759 a month. Technically, if you really want to look at it this way, she needs me more because I'm actually keep more stable reference for her than she would be otherwise. And somebody's trying to start looking up numbers. Yeah, well, fine, but well, I manage because of two reasons. I'm very thrifty. Um, I tend to do a lot of things by myself. Um, Maybe washing laundry in the bathtub to just buying only the things I need, or sometimes I'll fix things that are broken so I can use some old stuff. Like this camera here I'm using right now is actually a security camera, but it's mounted on my tripod. And then I got a good deal on a analog to digital converter, so I can plug it into my PowerMac G5 through FireWire. And then when I wanted to do live streaming, since the G5 didn't have the proper processor, I had to buy another identical one of the Formac FS10. So that's connected to the Intel Core 2 Duo Mac. So now, right now the way it's going is it's going first through the PowerMac G5, then to the loop in, then looped out to the other Formac FS10 on the Intel Core 2 Duo Mac. Then we have a second-hand Shure M68 mixer that we're using for the sound so that you can hear me. When I'm using the other computer, I use the Behringer Q1202 USB mixer because that computer's built-in line-in jack is atrociously bad. It works, but if you want to use it with professional microphones, you really need to find an adapter. So the adapter we're using is the Behringer mixer that was donated to me. And then, of course, my SM11 microphone, which I'm not using right now, works with both mixers. So I can use this mixer or that mixer. But the clothing is a problem because my clothing is getting old. Some people like to bring up the fact that sometimes I have to wear the same clothes for multiple days in a row. When the Wonder Washer broke, which we bought originally 5 years ago, I have to wash everything in the bathtub by hand because I can't afford to go to the laundromat twice a month. It's $10 if I was to do that. And I don't have any way of carrying all that laundry. So I have to wash everything in the bathtub. And sadly enough, my socks don't get as clean as I'd like. Let's see. Yeah. Why would you want to try to call that number? First of all, if you really want to call the studio line, people keep asking to call the studio line. I'll give you the studio line. Okay? You guys keep pushing the bullshit with the phone numbers, which I have to admit, I really don't want to deal with the phone numbers. Okay? I've already explained to you over and over again. We are not doing phone calls. Okay? I'm sorry if some of the young people find that to be so exciting. But right now, I am not in any mood to deal with any more phone calls from anybody. And I'm asking you to please respectfully understand that. That no, I'm not playing games with the phones right now. And if you can't respect me, then you will be permanently, and I mean permanently, erased. Okay? I don't want my personal phone numbers given out to anybody. Especially not that one, because that's not the studio line. If you really want the studio line so bad, I'll give it to you. But you know what the sad truth is? It doesn't mean that I'm going to be answering your questions. Okay, Harry? Harley, you are out of here. Bye. Okay, I don't really appreciate you people going out there and giving out phone numbers to people, and then you wonder why I got so mad I have to turn my phone off. The numbers that these people are trying to put together are not for public consumption. Do not call that number. And Harley, you should not be giving it out to nobody. Okay? And if you ever do it again, yeah, it is. So, that's the reason why I'm trying to make a living on my YouTube channel. Not necessarily by sitting there going, I'm so poor, I'm so poor. I'm trying to make a legitimate living. But the truth is the ad-apocalypse has been hurting everything. YouTube has basically taken away so much ad revenue from so many channels that the small channels, the small fries like mine, just can't get anywhere. You gotta flip those over so you can cool the other side? Yeah, I just did. Okay. So, you're talking about, that's less than $20. Well, no, well, if it's 4 weeks, it's actually 4.3 weeks. Let's say 5 weeks. Say, just to make the math easy. Okay, 5 weeks. If it's $20 a week, that's $100. If it's $25 a week, that's $120. That's $125. The sad truth is, the local grocery store closed in Winston. So unfortunately, only place I can go without depending on people is right across the street in Cumberland Farms. Each one of these calzones from Uno cost $3 each. And I got 2 here. And I have to eat them because they're getting cold. But I will after I finish this. So that's a lot of money going out the door just to eat something. I got 136 in food stamps. That's good. But this month, if Dory plays any fun and games on me, I'm not going to be able to pay everything. And that's the sad, scary fact, is that I don't know if Dory's up to something or not. She was supposed to pay me $325 this month. Last month, she was supposed to give me $375, and then she couldn't. And I asked her if she would like last month if she could actually throw in some extra for the washing machine. She couldn't. So unfortunately, this month, I mean, she paid me $325 last month. But the question is, how long is this game going to be played and going on? Okay, guys, yeah, we're going to wrap this up for tonight. So for right now, I want to thank you all for watching this video. So next Sunday, we will have another live stream, but I don't know what the Sherry situation is or the Dory situation is. So I will let you know as I find out. But for now, I thank you for watching the video. The first one, if you saw it, and the second one, which is this one. I feel better now. I got a chance to speak up and say what was bothering me without people like Sherry kind of goading me along, which I appreciate very much. And so for now, please leave comments in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, Michelle, one more thing. What? Please be aware it's going to be getting cold for a few nights. So you might want to make sure to keep your pets inside and keep them warm. Good point. Okay, so we're going to let you go. Michelle's going to eat, and we got to get ready to wrap it up for tonight. So for now, bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, everybody.